Hello, and this time we're back on track with Snowfall Episode 2. And as you can see on the screen, I've been busy since Episode 1, and I'll link somewhere. One of the big takeaways from that episode was that I wanted to get to work on the harmony that was only in the last 8 bars of the song, and it was just a brand new thing, a new discovery. Anyway, so I've been beavering away at that. It turns out that sorting harmonies out is a pretty long, painstaking process. So this is a sit rep, really. We're not finished. None of these sounds have been mixed whatsoever. I'm still in the selection process of trying to decide what bits sound good together. But what I really wanted to do was give you a snapshot. This is where I'm up to right now. I've also re-recorded the solo. You may recall I talked about switching from plectrum to picking the solo. So those are the 2 changes that have been made. Let's play the song. We'll listen to them. The harmonies are a big change and dramatically affect the song, and then we'll hear the solo as well. And then once it's all done, we'll come back and have a bit of a dissect of those 2 things and what have we learned and what can we take away.
Tumbling we fall, silent as thieves, you and I, my love, lost in our dreams. Idle we lie, painting our scene, you and I, my love, timeless it seems, fade
let's deal with the solo first, because that's a single thing that we can dissect, and then it's a slightly bigger topic to get into the vocals. We had this one originally, and if you may recall, there were finger hums. Like that. Okay, let's just quickly A-B that with the new one. I'm not really comparing apples with apples there, am I? Because I've put a pretty heavy delay on the second one. This is going to make it sound pretty raw, but at least we'll be able to hear the notes. So the guitar hum's almost completely gone. A couple of very, very subtle, but I think if you drill down to if you focus in to that level on any live instrument being played, you're going to hear some artifacts. And maybe you should. It's supposed to be a human being playing it. That kind of stuff is okay to a very minimal extent. It just can't dominate the sound. You can't hear these big booming, like dissonant ringing tones. So that second solo from a performance perspective, I'm much happier with. It's clearly cleaner. So how do they compare tonally? It's a question I'm going to extract out and do a separate building block on exactly that concept as a result of exactly this conversation, because I could very easily now spend 15 minutes just talking about the comparison between plectrums and fingers, but this is back on track with Snowfall, so let's stay focused. A very quick A-B again between the two different sounds. First one. They're so different tonally, it's really, really hard. I mean, my heart of hearts says that the plectrum one has a richer harmonic content. You know, it sounds richer. But with all those buzzes and ringings, it's kind of, it fails the test. The second one feels more organic. I think it's played better, but it doesn't have the tonal richness. And that, you know, that's the eternal conflict. I've always been told to play with the plectrum and done what I've been told. So I'm still at war. You know, this battle's been raging for 30 years and doesn't really seem to show any sign of ending. It's just horrible. Okay, that's that. Let's go on to the harmonies. Now, where we've got at the moment, this was a 2 hour, just over 2 hours we spent Saturday evening recording like 30 odd tracks of harmony, and the vast majority of it was just Pauline improvising this time. And you can see all these muted parts are the ones that I'm trying to decide, because you can't just have everything. You know, if you bring everything in all at the same time, it's like way too much. So I'm trying to kind of do that sifting, that filtering process, and I found that the first part over here was much easier to do. Then we've got the solo where there are no harmonies, and then there's a bit of a gap. And then when they come back in, I'm struggling with this bit. It doesn't sound as good to my ears. Maybe I've just not found the right combination of harmonies. I might need to go in and identify the exact notes, like write down all the notes that she's singing and try to do it from some kind of technical perspective. I'm not sure exactly how to make this sound right, but
Slowly we rise, borne on the breeze and the sky.
it doesn't seem to hang together for some reason. Can't quite put my finger on why. And it's not a question of it being too sparse. If I bring more stuff in, it doesn't just magically fix it.
Slowly we rise, borne on the breeze and the sky.
So yeah, not exactly sure about that. The one thing that we didn't do on Saturday, and I only thought afterwards, particularly in this section of the song, I think I need to do some more research, or some more thought needs to be put into having Pauline sing, the tail word for whatever's just been sung.
Dancers,
So have the choir sing dances, and not every word. So you
with joy,
might not sing the with joy.
to see,
And then she can like harmonise with the C, and particularly this bit
so
here.
our stories carry on.
Carry on, that kind of thing. So the harmony is, you see how you never want to hear me sing like properly, like just don't go there. But that's really where I'm going, and I think that might be what we need on this second part, to have her. I don't know what the term is. I'm sure there's a harmony term for that. If somebody knows, just bung it in the comments. I'll stumble across it eventually in my research, I'm sure. But where she sings carry on, and then all the harmonisers sing carry on a little bit later. I probably need to go back and listen to all the classic Pink Floyd albums, because or maybe even watch some of their live concerts, like the Delicate Sound of Thunder concert, or whatever. Is that what it was called? The 88 concert. Because they had 3 backing vocalists on that tour, and I remember them being particularly fantastic at that kind of stuff. So much more due diligence, but in terms of where we are right now, it's heading in the right direction. I hope you agree. I think it sounds, there are sections of it that sound very clearly that is better than it was last week. It is getting better. But I'm also starting to see the size of the mountain ahead of me to really, I'm learning this stuff from from absolute first principles. I can't just watch 20 hours of Jacob Collier videos and call myself an expert on harmony. That's just, outrageous. And I don't think that. I'm not that presumptuous in the slightest. But I think it's good to get a little bit of theory and do a little bit of research, and then get your feet wet and just actually dive in and try to do it. And then I've spent 2 hours recording it, and then probably 5 hours actually cleaning all this harmony stuff up and deciding what to keep and what to throw away. And now at this point I can take stock again and say, right, do we need to do any more? Have another session this weekend, and then do some research in the meantime. Have a bit of a think about this idea of having her sing words on top. So I'm sparking off with ideas myself that are spontaneously coming from listening back to the results, coming to appreciate the need for more technical research to find out just a vocabulary about different types of harmony that I want to discuss. And then if I want to look it up, at least I know what it's called. Go back and listen to the masters, like I say, with some of the female backing vocals on Pink Floyd stuff is is majestic. So I might go and have a really concerted listen. I can't remember ever listening to like multiple Pink Floyd albums purely from the perspective of backing vocals. That might be a really fascinating thing to do. So so that's where we are. That's episode 2. I hope that's been enough of a progression for you to see that we're heading in the right direction, and the enticing vistas of, like, you know, potential advances to be done as well. If you've enjoyed this, please consider subscribing. The thrilling episode 3 hopefully won't be that too far round the corner, and if you hit notifications, you'll find out when that is. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.